Good evening, everyone. We are here with week 6 of the ECAC's Marvel Rivals season. I'm Inferno, joined by the usual team of Althea and Beldia. How's it going tonight, Althea?
It's going pretty good. We've definitely got an interesting match tonight. Looking at the top, we have an absolute titan here. John Jay Bloodhounds out of John Jay College of Criminal Justice from New York City. They're on a current record of 5-0, one of those being against their own school's team. So they're definitely showing no mercy this season. They're going up against SSU Esports here out of Shawnee State University from Portsmouth, Ohio, currentently on a record of 1-4, which immediately we can see a bit of a discrepancy there in how this match might go, but I'm not going to let that decide it too much we're looking at some of the ranks before the game, and SSU has a few one above alls. I'm interested to see what they bring to the table. We have seen them in the past as well play fairly nice, so I'm excited to see how this match goes.
As am I. Everyone loves a good underdog story here. SSU definitely is in that position going into this match. We see the Winter Soldier and the Namor bands as of now for SSU, and the Groot and Black Panther bands coming out from John Jay. I don't think these have been the standard bands that we've seen the past couple of weeks, but these teams definitely know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're banning and saving, so I'm going to trust the process on this one.
Yeah, they're, like you said, they're kind of standard, kind of not. The Namor is to be expected. Strong team up with Hela right now. Bucky, always a great band. Venom Save is interesting. It can be a very powerful tool, but not always something teams opt to ban out right away. For John Jay, though, and also, real quick, the Magic Save. I think we saw this only once before where somebody was planning on playing Magic. I don't know if it worked out too well for the team, but it may have been SSU who was running it.
I think it was
Banning
Bloodfish,
that Adam
yes.
as well. It was Bloodfish? All right, well, I'm excited to see
And I
some
think
Magic.
Cheese was that Venom player that we definitely saw cause some disrupt in their last game. So I think that's going to be a little bit coming out here. There we see Bloodfish with the Magic, and actually Civis picking up that Venom role.
Yeah, immediately we can see these teams locked in as to what we're expecting them to play. John Jay was on it, ready to go, and they've definitely got a pretty strong comp. We can immediately see the brawl aspects of it with the Emma, the Emma, the Thor. You got the Phoenix in the back to cause some damage, and splashing a little bit of Iron Man. We don't see him too often. Definitely a threat. Compared to SSU, we have seen this team before where they have this strong anchor in the front as a distraction with this Magic and Civis on that Venom, and then Twin Blue to just cause some of that high damage in the back. I'm excited to see how these teams are going. However, the only concern I'm immediately seeing is there isn't a direct counter to Luck currently on SSU's lineup, assuming Twin Blue swaps off that Widow, of course.
Yeah, I believe they were hovering that Hela, and we've seen SSU deal with those flying targets before. Like we've seen a very strong team, both of them going into this first point here. Definitely going to be a little bit of a toss-up. Civis on that Venom and the Emma Frost from Cheese. Definitely think that's a good, strong frontline composition as we're seeing Pax on the Thor and No Man's on the Emma for John Jay here.
Yeah, immediately we can see John Jay just taking control of this midpoint depth. Pax picking up 2 already. Brightsex is going to fall to Civis on point. Pax picking up a 3rd, though. Just off this main choke, Thor is doing work with the help of, looks like No Man's, the Emma, and that's a quick flip for John Jay.
Yeah, that was some pretty incredible Thor gameplay there. We just saw Pax kind of walk up, use that Awakening rune, start laying down the hammer, claims 3 victims very early on there for John Jay, and sends SSU back to spawn. Does have that cap percentage now. We're seeing some good poke from Luck here. No Man's with a nice early pick onto Cheese. SSU now down a tank, and John Jay is willing to isolate this fight just a little bit with this Emma barrier as they try to find another pick, but are unable to as of yet.
Yeah, John Jay, I really like their team comp here, because one thing just to touch on is actually the mobility of a decent amount of this team. Between Phoenix, who I think has some, Iron Man and the Thor, it allows them to jump up here and really hold this high ground well. We can see right now as Decorum is just praying up top, diving down, pushing Cheese out of position just like that. And when your team loses a Magneto, that's the anger of your team. You're going to fall real quick, and that you can see that as SSU recognizes it and falls back before the choke. Right now, John Jay is doing a phenomenal job of just stalling, holding this time, letting it run down. They haven't even committed any ultimates yet, I think. We're 65% and looking at 6 ults, likely from both teams here.
We've seen SSU have a cold start here on our first point. So a few isolated picks there onto the tank. It's definitely hard to push up into that 5v6, especially when John Jay is playing so aggressive here. But Civis claiming one onto No Man's. Pax returning with one. We're at an even standoff as of yet. Lux shutting down 2, looking for that beam kill on a 3rd. And we're seeing John Jay now pull away with this fight as SSU's forced to back up. And that point will tick over into a 100%, giving John Jay a very clean first point here.
Yeah, no swap to Strange here on this first point, but we can see John Jay, they're coming out swinging. They're doing a phenomenal job holding that choke, and SSU really just felt strapped for answers. We did see a few swaps right off the bat. I mean, we saw the swap to the Hela. We saw the second swap to the Phoenix, kind of recognizing Iron Man is causing a lot of disrupt there. But, I mean, even then, when your head is constantly turned onto the Thor, onto the Iron Man, and then even when you can eventually get through to them to the Emma, still Bot Jakey on that Phoenix is just going to be able to sit in the back and wreak havoc, and that's exactly the struggle that SSU is facing right now, is how do you deal with such a high oppressive front line to get to that back line? And usually dive can work, but that's assuming you have enough pressure in the front line as well to get something off of it. Right now, SSU needs a stronger, I'd say, like, team positioning where they need to play together much more. They need to stay behind these shields that they're running. These bubbles need to be perfectly timed, stuff like that. But I do think SSU definitely has a chance. They just need to find the answers and apply the differences.
Yeah, and I think as for team comps go, a double shield with a Doctor Strange could work wonders here for SSU, as we do see Twin Blue fall early there. Pax now doing what that Thor does, getting in the face, real mean and aggressive. John Jay will send a few back to cap that point. And as a few more picks come through, we're seeing SSU in a very similar position here, where John Jay is now playing in a very forward spot with these ultimates ready, and SSU gonna have to respond with some of their own.
Yeah, exactly. SSU is sitting on 6 right now, a lot to answer to. And it just comes down to who's gonna pop it first. I'm surprised we haven't yet. It feels like I'm watching the supports just playing keep up, trying to keep the team up. SSU finds No Man's, though. That's a huge opening. However, Civis answers. Get the Cloak and Dagger ult. Meteor M from Cheese looking for one, doesn't find any. Bot Jakey's gonna fall to Twin Blue, and it's looking up for SSU as Twin Blue picks up a second on this Hela. Beautiful picks as they're trying to pick up Leia in the back line. And we see SSU able to flip it over, only with 2 ultimates committed. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you were saying it going into this round. SSU just needs to position just a little bit better, and we saw that come out there. They pulled back a little bit, tried to stick a little more around Cheese on this Magneto, while also allowing your DPS to get those picks. Twin Blue coming up huge in that fight. Now we're seeing the Psionic Seduction on this point will fall, however, to Luck. Endsong Inferno dropped in the invisible barrier, as well as the Pulse Cannon. No picks are coming through for the DPS ults, as we're seeing this standoff on point now. No Man's will pick up Dirty Ohio Bubble, and now that will spell the end of this point reign for SSU.
I really like John Jay's positioning there. We saw some immediate action from John Jay when it comes to executing SSU supports. And with this type of team comp we have, we saw SSU just falling back to point. When you're not playing up close in this kind of choke, it's much harder against John Jay's comp, especially with that Iron Man and with the Thor. They can just dive in the back line and immediately just separates SSU and forces them to split their attention, which is exactly what John Jay wants, and that's why we could see them flip that so easily. I like SSU's idea here, though, of staying together and switching where they're pushing from. It's going to be hard into this Thor ult on this low ground. Zippus is falling low, will be answered by Dirty Ohio Bubble. Cheese will find luck out of this guy. That's a beautiful opening pick. Leia using this Cloak and Dagger ult to keep the team up.
A huge dunk there. Yeah, the Cloak and Dagger ult on the point, going to help John Jay stay alive and take that fight now. Approaching that 100% point. I don't think there's any contest from SSU, and that will be John Jay in a 2-0 victory on our first map here.
Yeah, an unfortunate percentage John Jay was left from the side of SSU, because when your team gets wiped like that, it's hard finding the time to respawn and get back to point. So beautiful job from John Jay on that first map. They definitely showed incredible strengths in their team composition as well as their positioning. I'm really excited to see a little bit of a switch up. We don't see Thor too often. We don't see Iron Man too often. It's exciting to see new strategies that are just working this well. And to extend off of that, you go into the eyes of SSU, and what they're feeling right now is this isn't a standard comp that you're used to seeing. How do you deal with it?
Exactly that, and I think that's going to play into our next round of saves and bans here. I think if you're SSU, you likely want to take away that Thor. Pax was looking very oppressive on that position. I mean, the stats maybe don't tell the best story here. The positioning and the space that Pax was able to create on that door was pretty much invaluable to John Jay's team, allowing Luck and Bot Jakey to just farm that damage, keep them up in fights from the supports, and kind of win with those ultimates when they needed to. So I think SSU is going to have to play off of that a little bit and ban some of these, how do I put it? Some of the more oppressive characters that John Jay is bringing to the table.
Yeah, exactly. And then even that can be hard to identify, where you're like, okay, that Iron Man was making it really hard to play, really a struggle on our supports, really giving us a hard time. But then you look at the stats and you say, okay, well, Bot Jakey is the one picking up most of these kills, or not necessarily, but the long range pressure, or the Thor is the one that's disrupting our tank location, causing some issues in our positioning. And right now SSU just has a hard time of identifying it, but that's exactly it. Is John Jay, there isn't one root cause to their team. It's not one pick that make or breaks the team, which is something that we occasionally see, and that's something I really like to see in this comp that John Jay is running. I think SSU could definitely opt for maybe banning a few of the things that like if they have a comp that they're familiar with and they want to run, try and stick to banning around that. It's usually a good idea to have bans against a team when they have a good pick as like a last resort. If you can make your team pick your comp that you're used to and still continue to ban around that and make it work, that's what you're looking for.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, we saw Blubfish on that Magic, now hovering it again here. Definitely a comfort character for the player here. And it just seemed like they weren't able to get it off there in that first map. I think if we could go back to what SSU knows a little bit more, what they've been playing a bunch, we could see drastic difference here going into the second map. As we started off, however, we are seeing the Emma ban from SSU, determining that that was a strong component in John Jay's lineup there. Now, taking it out of the hands, and I think John Jay is, sticking to their guns. The group ban, the Invisible Woman save, looking pretty standard for them so far.
Yeah, something I'm interested to see, and it will be decided as well if SSU is going to ban this Iron Man or not, is with the last Iron Man pick, was it chosen as, hey, this is the pick we run for this comp, or was it in response to the possible magic save that we saw? I mean, I know Magic definitely has some verticality sometimes, but Iron Man and other flying heroes certainly are pretty good at taking care of her.
Absolutely. And I mean, these players are definitely good enough at the game to know that the flying character is going to counter the magic there. And John Jay takes him up on that offer, says, "All right, hey, we'll play that. We'll play that Iron Man. Luck is well versed in the Iron Man, and we're ready to show that proficiency." And they did just that. And now it's really going to depend on SSU to answer back with something. It seemed like John Jay kind of laid out their cards there, was saying, "Hey, this is our comp. This is what we're running. This is who we are." And now SSU kind of has to respond.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited to see Blubfish on this Magic and hopefully actually get some value out of it this game, and maybe it'll be picked into a worthy team comp for it, especially when they are using that save for it. You want to make sure you get the value out of it. The Iron Man ban coming in right at the end, making sure they get rid of that, though. Looking at John Jay, I don't think they're going to be too worried about that, as they got their Bucky, and I don't know these players, obviously, but I definitely know we see a lot more Bucky than Iron Man, and typically it's a very strong pick. John Jay is going to be getting rid of that Hela, which gives me the idea they might actually be running that. Oh, not Iron Man, but they're going to have the Storm. We possibly get a Jeff too. Right now, I assume Rice-X is going to swap support, but the Atom pick is interesting as well.
Certainly is. And like you said, with that storm there, it definitely enables some other flyers. And we have heard tales that the Jeff NATO is very strong right now, as well as Jeff being a compatible support hero, being able to keep up the team. We've seen it a couple weeks ago, I believe. And yeah, he was looking good. Not too bad, but it's looking like John Jay for right now are not opting for that team up. Instead, just going to bring the Storm to the table with Bot Jakey on that Winter Soldier. That was their save on the Winter Soldier. Bot Jakey looking to show it off here. But Twin Blue is also going to play that hero on the DPS role, and we're going to have to see a little bit of a standoff here as SSU gets their attack point rolling in just a second here.
Yeah, one thing I'm immediately noticing is on the side of John Jay, they have Jakey for when you get those beautiful pulls on the defense, you have packs to push and disrupt the pull and then execute on it, right? SSU doesn't really have that kind of thing. I think we can see a pull from Twin Blue, but I don't really think SSU has that executability that they're looking for. I mean, if you pull the Magneto, I think they're just going to be able to walk out of there, but I'm open to be proven wrong. So I'm not really liking the damage output on SSU, but that's why we're relying on Civis and Bloodfish to cause enough of a disruption in the back to turn the heads of the supports, turn the heads of the team to allow Twin Blue to free farm in the front. But right now, we're seeing an immediate stop at the second point. Supports falling low, and we already have a Kraken impact, picking up 2. We're 45 seconds into the game. That's a 5K. But Jakey.
45 seconds in. And a generational clip hit already by Bot Jakey. That is incredible. The rapid pace at which that Kraken impact was up and available for John Jay. I mean, that is exactly how you shut down a first push from your opponents. We're seeing Civis go for the Venom backline distraction here, as they should, and it allows Cheese to pick up No Man's, which is actually a huge pick here for SSU, as John Jay is now down one of the tanks. The Omega Hurricane will come out, however.
Yeah, simply forcing out Ohio Bubble's ult, but that's going to open it up for other ults. However, Bot Jakey will fall with a major DPS down from John Jay. It's going to be tough to see John Jay retake this, though. Rice-X finds Blubfish. We see Phoenix falling low. We have the supports on the offense up here. Phoenix ult takes out the Sia. Cheese picks up Rice-X with a support and a DPS out of it. Stuck in this choke. Cheese is going to pick up 2. And SSU has a beautiful attack here. Trying to find the rat on the wall. Civis is going to fall back, and that's going to be first point for SSU. And a fairly good time as well. 2 minutes on the clock when they cap it. Getting that 2:30. 4:30 now to push the second half. And I mean, they're looking pretty good. They committed quite a few ultimates to take that, but we have this Cheese ultimate ready to go, just in case. Maybe shut down bot Jakey if need be.
And we did see, I think it was Cheese last map, sniping Luck out of the sky on the Iron Man. Bot Jakey showing off a little bit of sniping power there too, shutting down Twin Blue. Turning their attention to the back line. The Kraken impact does come down. Will hit one member, and just like you called it, that Meteor M came out, put a little bit of pressure on bot Jakey. Won't be able to get that reset this time. And now the battle is going to be on point here as more ults come out. No picks just yet to come through. John Jay has to back up, actually.
Yeah, this Dark Child comes out from Blubfish, picking up bot Jakey. Storm ultimate trying pressure in the back from Luck. Dirty Ohio Bubble is going to push up using this Luna ult that was pressured out. Bloodfish picks up a second. Cheese finds Pax. Now John Jay is 3 down, 4 down, looking at 5. Almost. They pick up Luck, and that's a beautiful take from SSU. I liked Luck using that Storm ult as a counter-offensive, but I think that Dirty Ohio Bubble having that Luna ultimate ready to go, definitely, we saw them actually switch over to that damage and push straight up to the front line to help assist in the retake, which is something that you don't see often. Usually you want to stay on that healing, and you definitely can't spam it back and forth like you could Season 1. But right now we see John Jay ready for the contest. Normans picks up Twin Blue with the Phoenix gone and the ult. That's going to open up a lot of possibilities for John Jay. No, Pax is going to fall to Dirty. And now looks like it's a decent trade on either side here.
It certainly is, with SSU trying to get a little aggressive. Civis will fall, but we're seeing the supports from SSU finish these kills here. Bot Jakey will fall. Leia wanting to get in on the fun as well. A huge Meteor M from No Man's will take down both of the strategists for SSU, and that is exactly how you shut the fight out if you're John Jay.
Yeah, I mean, Normans doesn't care if you're invisible or around a wall or anything. They will find that dunk, getting both the supports, shutting down that invisible boundary, allowing John Jay to clean up the rest of SSU. And right now, they're going to retake their position up here in the front. Bot Jakey just shooting down the iron, the range. Currently, keep in mind, John Jay is running a 2-3-1 comp with only one tank. Beautiful ult spam coming out right now. Meteor M, Storm, and the Kraken impact. I think we just found 4 or 5 with it. Continuing though, it's not over yet. Don't think we're gonna find a target though. Right now, yeah, back to the team lineup. We actually see Pax off the fort, now on the Iron Fist, doubling down, I would assume, on this kind of disrupt dive. I was gonna say doubling down on the dive. John Jay is not running too much to begin with. I do like this swap here. They're gonna have this ultimate ready to go, and I think that's gonna be good at forcing out possibly that Luna ultimate, which might open the door for Normans or Luck to get some value out of it.
We do have Pax with that Living Chi trying to put a little pressure on Civis in the backline here. The Ensong Inferno will come out, as well as the Dark Child in the back now trying to do work. Leia ready with that Fate of Both Worlds, having a little bit of a dance-off with Dirty Ohio Bubble now. But SSU now in the lead for this team fight. The Omega Hurricane does come down. The invisible boundary there to respond. And SSU is definitely up in this fight, getting 2 more picks. The Meteor M will go up. No Man's will not find a kill with the Meteor M, but will pick one up.
They'll pick up Bubble. Living Chi comes out with some nice damage down, but no picks just yet. Looking for these supports, trying to find Kitsuno Kami. It's over, no picks found yet. We'll find Kitsuno Kami. Leia picks up Cheese as well after getting low, and we're seeing a beautiful retake from John Jay. Pax just sitting on that Living Chi for the retake. We see a portal coming out in overtime from Bloodfish, and we're looking for the contest, but we're getting the body block on the point, and they can't get through. That's the second time I think we've seen SSU. I think they were the ones that did it last time.
I'm not quite sure I remember that, who was doing that last time, but that was incredible play there from John Jay, sending the 2 Vanguards up to that portal, just being the bouncers, the bodyguards there, not letting them in. And I mean, you got to give a little bit of credit there, or a lot of bit of credit there, to Pax with that living chi, being able to stay alive for so long on that point, bought the entirety of John Jay enough time to come back with that invisible boundary, get the picks, and run SSU off that point, shut down their push. Before getting that second point even is exactly what you want to see if you're on John Jay.
Yeah, I was interested to see why we held that living cheese so long until I realized that it was for that overtime retake, and we could see that as it looked like John Jay was slipping, but they were just waiting for the right moment, letting SSU burn these ultimates so they can come back stronger. And we saw that with Norman's finding one with the Meteor M, and Pax picking up at the end, which was the tank player before, so good job to the tanks. As well as, I think at the end there, I'm not too sure on who threw their face into that portal to body block, but I believe we saw Norman's actually on an Angela who was able to fly up to it and stop it, but I didn't even see the Angela swap. I think I just saw them on the character for a few seconds. However, though, swapping now, SSU on this defense, still running a similar comp though. Civis is getting pressured by this mosquito that's on him.
Fly on the wall versus the Wasp that found him. Twin Blue will take down Luck very early, however. SSU now up 6v5 in this fight. Civis did have to back up a little bit, regroup with the team, slam down on Bot Jakey, take that pick there. No Man's will respond with one of their own. John Jay looking to get a little bit more grouped up before really hitting this. While Cheese and Civis are ready to play that front line, hold for a little bit while waiting. And Leia, actually picking up Civis is a huge pick here.
Yeah, it's important to mention these offensive picks are much stronger than the defensive, especially when offense is so close to their spawn. They get back quicker, they have their team ready to go much faster. Pax picking up 2, doing a great job in this back line all the way on second point. At what point are you going to call it quits? It's going to be right now as they're looking for movement. 11 to hell, trying to get out.
Surely not. Surely not!
Looks like they're back to point. Invisible boundaries. Meteor through the portal! That is a literal dunk if we've ever seen it. Answer from Cheese, picking up the 3-pointer. Luck finding 2 with this Storm ultimate. Pax picking up 1 as well, and I think that's going to be the second point from John Jay in a very exciting... I mean, that was a crazy 15 seconds we just watched.
Yeah, back and forth. That was absolute cinema there. We'll see Pax survive very low on that eye to 2 back-to-back Meteor M slam dunks, 1 through a strange portal. That was just incredible series of events there. Now as SSU does have to regroup, get everyone back together, actually catch Bot Jakey lacking a little bit, pushing up. Bloodfish will fall. An even matchup going into this. Actually, Civis with the Rocket BRB getting Bloodfish back into this fight will be a good momentum for SSU to push into this, stop this point for John Jay, as they're now going to have to hold this for 4 minutes.
Yeah, interesting team swap as we're seeing triple DPS into triple support. Both Luna ultimates come down. Civis has the Sia though to help. Meteor M, no Meteor M. Darkchild is going to come out as well as Kraken Impact, looking for the pick onto the Phoenix, will get cleansed by the ultimate, picking up 5 with the help of Bloodfish. That is a beautiful Phoenix ult from Twin Blue for the team kill.
Twin Blue saving that end song Inferno for the right time, knowing just when and where to drop it, securing those kills, and propelling SSU upwards in that fight, sending John Jay right back to spawn. And now SSU does have to bolster this defense here, as 3 and almost a half minutes of John Jay attack is coming their way. Only to get a little bit further on this point. It's not undoable. We did just see it happen. And with Cheese finding these picks, that's exactly how you start it.
It's looking pretty. I don't even know what blocked that Meteor M, but it was beautiful. Kitsune Kami's barrier running out now. No Man's falling super low. John Jay trying to stay on the offensive, try and stay up. SSU is looking really strong on this defensive hold, though. I really like their triple support that they're running. Looking for this pick. You You can't let a DPS fall this easily with triple support. RiceX is going to pop this invisible boundary, not enough to keep Pax up. It was too far up. Phoenix ult is going to come down, find Kitsuno Kami and the Sia, SSU Cheese, while they're picking up the support as well. We're seeing picks go back and forth, however, it's still in favor of SSU as they have a phenomenal hold here, holding now 2 minutes on the clock, and they're halfway through their time bank, and they're looking pretty.
Absolutely, and that was a very close fight there from SSU, falling critically low, being able to be kept alive by the strategist. Very close fight now. They do have some ultimates, so does John Jay. We see Luck fall very early, fall low very early. John Jay now ready to attack this point. Still running with this Iron Fist. The Living Chi is still available for Pax. Not sure if they're waiting for another little bit of a contest point to use it, or right now getting down and dirty with it, taking the fight to the front line of SSU. A dance battle on point and a final judgment from Luck. We're seeing John Jay with a huge commit to this fight. Picks are starting to come through from them now. That's 2 for John Jay, 3, and SSU falling all over this point. The Dark Child to try to stall to come out, but I don't think Bloodfish is going to be able to find anything, as Luck with that shotgun will take her down. That might just be John Jay winning this point here.
Oh, you see the Phoenix ultimate get canceled by Luck with the beautiful tracking. And we're just waiting for for SSU to come back and defend. Sia comes out now. No Phoenix ult to shut it down. Rice, though, with this perfectly timed boundary to come up. We're back and forth. Pax has fallen. It's up for SSU. Kitsuno Kami popping this as well. Phoenix ult comes down. Not going to find any as it's healed back up by that invisible boundary. Good job to Kitsuno Kami. We're seeing SSU retaking this with 45 seconds on the clock. John Jay committed 4 ultimates in the last fight. They don't have much to answer here. They used another 2 to try and get to hold it. SSU still has this Meteor M building up to the Luna ultimate. John Jay definitely going to have 3 to 4 ultimates on this attack. Early portal being used from Nomans on the attack, trying to split this pressure. Meteor M's going to come out, needs to find a support, and it is! It's going to pick up Leia with 20 seconds left. I don't think they'll make it back to the portal. That's a long respawn for the support. As we see, we need John Jay to get this attack, but right now, SSU is looking so good as Twin Bow, and the portal falls right in front of Leia, not able to make it. 3 seconds left on the clock.
The misstep to send Leia walking back to point. SSU was still in the driver's seat just for a little bit. We're seeing Bloodfish pressuring those supports. Now the final judgment comes out from Luck, and Eye of Agamotto as well. Will stun a few. Dirty Ohio bubble. The fate of both worlds, keeping everyone alive. We're seeing ultimates everywhere. A pick for both teams. A res for SSU is exactly what you want to see. The picks, Bloodfish going huge with the Dark Child. Picks everywhere, littering that kill feed. And that is SSU doing the unthinkable, stopping John Jay for those, I believe it was longer than 4 minutes there. And that was just incredible gameplay. Congrats to SSU for that map.
I mean, underdogs indeed. It's really exciting seeing them go. And I said at the start of the match, I really want to see how this Magic is going to play into a comp where it can get the value. And this was it. We saw some amazing plays from Magic there. Several team wipes from either side. That was just a phenomenal match from both teams, bringing the score to 1-1, minimum of 2 more maps, and I'm excited to see it. That was a beautiful round from both sides. Just phenomenal support ultimates, phenomenal Magnetos, phenomenal DPS, just everything was great from that.
It certainly was. At this level of gameplay between these two teams, they are good enough at the game that we're going to see these consistent ult plays. We were watching the Meteor M's both ways, the Phoenix ults, the invisible boundaries, the fate of both worlds. Everything was just beautifully timed across the board. I mean, we're just watching an absolute masterpiece of a match right here. 1-1. Like you said, a minimum of another 3 games here. I think this could go all the way. These teams are very evenly matched up. And honestly, I'm willing to say that this one was a little bit one in the picks and bans here. Banning out that Iron Man, as well as the Namor and the Emma, of course, definitely allows that Magic to be a lot more rampant. And I think if we could see something similar from SSU going into this third map with those bans, we could just witness another. I don't really want to call it an upset map because SSU is a very good team of their own, but we could see another map going SSU's way and putting them on match point here.
I mean, there is now a possibility of John Jay banning that magic and just getting rid of it. And then what do you do for SSU? But looking at SSU, I will say, other than the DPS and the team playing phenomenally, one switch that I think made a major difference was Civis swapped off the Venom and off that dive type of movement that was playing with the magic to a rocket, which immediately gives you another support ultimate to play with. You can be more flexible and more aggressive with your support ultimates. The res, which has just had some crazy implications as well, and just the overall increase in healing. And lastly, when you switch off that Venom, you're switching the Magic's playstyle from this supportive dive character to this aggressive frontliner playing with the team instead of trying to go in the back and benefit off of the Venom's attacks, you know? And we could definitely see that shift in playstyle from SSU, literally shifting from the offense to the defense. And that's, I mean, lo and behold, they're on defense, and it worked out really well for them. SSU, though, are going to recognize what went wrong last time, is going to, what could have gone wrong, I guess, ban out that Bucky. However, John Jay now, with this Iron Man save, is really going to shake some things up.
Yeah, definitely a thorn in the side of Magic, and I know Bloodfish knows that deep down. Actually going for the Magic ban as well, really just saying we want no part of Bloodfish, we want no smoke with that Magic. Take her out of the game, and we're actually going to save that Iron Man. I'd assume that's going to go right back to Luck. Definitely a strong Iron Man player. We saw it on that first map. Looking to bring it out here on this third map. Hopefully, I mean, we were saying it going into the second map that SSU needed to play their comfort characters a little bit more. And I believe we saw that on the second map. And I think we're going to witness the same thing for John Jay going into the third. Just going back to kind of what worked on that first map. And that just so happened to be the Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. SSU actually now going to reserve this Hela. It was John Jay that banned it last time. And important to note, currently no ban on the Namor, which honestly SSU might be relying on. If that's what they're going to lean into to deal with this Iron Man, never mind. I assume it is what they were leaning for. John Jay's able to read that, though. They know that that Namor Hela pick could be detrimental to the Iron Man comp, and they're going to swap off of it. Not going to say too much yet, right? But we do see Bloodfish and Twin Blue on these DPS. The Human Torch definitely isn't too common of a pick, but we are seeing this dive comp that we're used to seeing with Civis and Bloodfish. But John Jay, I mean, they're running. Again, I don't want to say too much till they're out of spawn and the round started, but Bot Jakey was hovering this Black Widow before the start of the game, and frankly, it's a pretty good map for her. Oh, never mind. But still, Bot Jakey even scarier, though, on that Phoenix. That's going to be quite the disrupt. Bloodfish as well. I think these Phoenixes are really going to be important with both these flying heroes. Looks like SSU is running Twin Blue in hopes of... Alright, I'm going to stop talking until they are out of this spawn. It's like the third time.
I feel like this might be the comp that SSU is going to run. We saw Twin Blue on the Hela and Bloodfish with that Phoenix before. And with the Iron Man save coming out, you kind of got to expect the Flyer. And, I mean, John Jay is running the Flyer. They have luck on that Iron Man. It worked on map 1. Will it work on map 3 here as SSU gets their attack going? Now, approaching this choke, John Jay's playing fairly aggressive here, ready to take this fight as soon as SSU starts to push up a little bit more. As the damage starts coming through, no picks are found just yet. Seen, just, a little bit of testing the other team's strategists. Can you heal this damage? Can you heal that? And Pax actually will find the crack and take down Cheese.
Yep, then we see the benefit of Dirty Ohio Bubble using the Sia, and the Res Phoenix comes out to shut it down, though. That's huge damage onto SSU as Rice is going to find Twin Blue. And we see John Jay just running SSU down now. As they're down, the members of their team falling. Luck is just getting some crazy damage. That was a beautiful answer from Bot Jakey there. I definitely think that Phoenix ultimate was the catalyst in SSU's fall there. And one quick note on this Iron Man is, you know, Iron Man does well on a lot of maps, but I definitely think this map in particular, with the types of archways they have and the high altitude like ceilings around these corners, is really playing into Luck's playstyle of this cover that they can play around here, which makes it really hard for SSU to get a sight on them.
I completely agree, and as we just saw it there, Luck did find probably one of the heroes that should be countering him best on Twin Blue on that Hella. And like you said, just playing around these corners spectacularly. It's really hard to find the Iron Man and land that pick when they're just playing in and out of cover, a little bit of hit and run there, enabling the supports of John Jay to keep him up when available. SSU looking at maybe any swaps yet. They do have these ultimates. I'm sure they're going to try to drop them off, see what happens. John Jay does have 6 to respond with. And as a few swaps are potentially coming through, SSU is about to get right back up to the choke.
Yeah, as what happened last point, John Jay running this triple DPS, SSU is now going to answer with the triple support is what helped them push last time. This time, though, they're running the Luna, Emma, and Invisible Woman. Not often we see... Oh my god!
Oh.
She picks up the Meteor M to answer to the Iron Man ultimate and shoots it right back at him. That was a beautiful ultimate. But Jakey not able to find much. I think Luck got respawned. As we see SSU pushing up now, just invulnerable with the amount of support ultimates they have in their pocket. Bloodfish with the Phoenix ultimate looking for anything. Civis's turn now, popping this Cloak and Dagger ultimate, number 2 of 3. And right now we can see SSU now has the advantage as they're pushing up. And it's looking like they might cap it. We will see Jakey though swap to this Strange, and that means it's not over yet, unless they're just going to let it go. That might be it.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to make the swaps they need and hold this second point a little bit better. I mean, you were already talking about enough, but Cheese, the demon that he is on that Magneto, putting down these Meteor M's, always finding a home for them. Hitting his mark feels more often than not. And as SSU starts to get this second point push going now, it's just going to be that again, looking for a pick and then spilling into John Jay's backline if they're able to get one. Pax on the Iron Fist now. Does have that Living Chi available. Maybe trying to turn some heads for Bot Jakey to hit him, blow their heads off from a distance. It's kind of hard to contest that. But we will have to see here where the picks lie.
We'll see this ultimate come down. No picks yet from the Black Widow, though. Pax, on the other hand, picking up 3, looking for number 4 on these supports. And that's a beautiful retake from John Jay. Not too contested from them. Bot Jakey opening with the ultimate, forcing the team to separate. We still see SSU running this triple support, which I definitely think... I don't know, it's going to be a little hard into this triple DPS when you have this Widow. You really have to respect the line of sight, but I like that we do still have the double, like, long, not sniper, but basically snipers from SSU with this Phoenix and Hella. Though Bot Jakey showing who's got the real scope, picking up Twin Blue, and now that's John Jay with the advantage, both ult-wise and man-wise. Looking for some beautiful picks.
I was going to say, we're seeing Bot Jakey show why this Widow isn't exactly a troll pick. I mean, laying down some pretty consistent damage at that range is pretty valuable to the entire team. And then when you have someone like Pax just to run in there, beat him up, claim those kills, that's just a winning formula here for John Jay so far. And it seems like SSU is really looking for a way to counter this, but they can't even get out of spawn really with that damage coming down from Bot Jakey.
Exactly, and the comment about the Widow being a throw pick, I know it's common to see, but maybe in our ranks down in Silver, I definitely think up in these Titan lobbies, that Widow is something to be feared, and right now it's definitely I think, slowing the game down as we moved from a brawl fight to a sniper duel between the teams, and just whoever wins it pushes in and finishes it. So far, it's been John Jay, though, as Jakey picks up Blobfish. Tsunokami kind of alone on point, I think, is going to fall as well. Leia's going to pick up Dirty Ohio Bubble, though. We're seeing a few ults come out. Hella, Meteor Am won't find anything. Pax picks up Civis. And honestly, this match just feels like it's slowed down a little bit with these picks, though still just as exciting as we see Bot Jakey pick up Cheese. Tsunokami getting aggressive and using this in the last few seconds. Meteor M doesn't find any, though we will see Blubfish picking up 3 with the help of Tsunokami, though luck showing why you should have banned this Adam Warlock, resing the whole team, double stacking the support ultimates from SSU. That's scary to see. Though after this, John Jay's not going to have anything to respond. Bot Jakey's going to fall. Pax is going to get aggressive with this living Chi, looking for some picks. It's going to be hard to kill through the cloak ult. Still will find it, though. No Means is down, and John Jay has a pick. All they need to do is regroup and shut SSU down right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we were seeing for a while there just the value of the pick. Bot Jakey just securing 1 pick there, able to, like you were saying, slow the game down immensely. Now in overtime, SSU has to make this push count as the contest from John Jay is on the point. We see Twin Blue falling critically low. No Man's will pick it up. That is who you want to see die first in a fight like this, where you need that Strange Portal back potentially. But swapping to the Psylocke instead, Pax gonna pick up Dirty Ohio Bubble, and this might just be the end of SSU's push.
I think so, as it's only Blubfish left on point alone now, trying to stay alive, try and keep the contest going, possibly waiting for a Strange Portal, but no one on SSU makes that swap, and it's going to be John Jay shutting SSU down halfway through the second point. For SSU, I mean, it's not the happiest, but it's better than nothing. You know, the swaps they made on that first point got them somewhere, and that's important to see. And right now, still, I mean, keep in mind the score's 1-1. This map isn't it. So both teams have an equal shot of taking this home.
Absolutely, and this is pretty much the exact same position we were in on our last map, where SSU got through that first point relatively easily. John Jay put up the defenses and stopped them shy of that second point, and we're seeing pretty much the exact same thing here. And SSU ended up winning map 2 there. I do not count this team out. They definitely know what they're doing. We're actually seeing a little bit of a penny spawn camp here, maybe a little bit of some buffing going on too to make these spider mines a little more deadly. I'm not sure if any picks are going to come out just right away, but nah, I think they're wise
breaking
to
the
it.
lines. They don't got they don't got the Althea lineups. They don't got them out of the door, I can tell you that. You gotta run into the corner, buddy. But I definitely appreciate the sentiment of the penny pick, even if it is only for a cheese kill. But regardless, John Jay sticking with this Widow on this defense, or sorry, on this offense. It's definitely going to be interesting. SSU, though, swapping back to Civis on this Venom. Personally, I'm not a fan. I feel like anytime we see the Venom, it just hasn't worked out, especially on the defense where your team needs to stay up as much as possible. I think that triple support could have just been a better swap. Though, I mean, important to mention, too, the amount of CC that John Jay has. They do have Magneto push as well as the freeze from Leia. So we see 2 picks from John Jay now onto Cheese and Twin Blue.
And this is starting to look like a relatively fast first point here for John Jay. That's 2 ticks. Still getting picks as John Jay. And yeah, that'll be it. Real nice and easy. And, you know, I didn't really get to touch on it last time on this second point here, but we saw John Jay really just valuing the power of picks here. With Bot Jakey on this Widow, Pax on the Iron Fist, being able to lower someone drastically and finish them off almost immediately, it feels. Being down that one player, no matter who it is definitely daunting to fight into. And John Jay is just happy to play a little bit back, take some of that damage, give the strategist some ult charge, and play for picks here.
Yeah, exactly, and that leaves SSU forced into this kind of dive comp to try and disrupt that. That's why we see Civis on that Venom. Rice picks up Kitsuno Kami. That's a beautiful pick from John Jay on this aggression. No mams with this. Meteor M isn't going to find any. And we get Leia popping this ultimate, trying to keep the team up. Maybe get that damage out. And Bot Jakey using this Widow ultimate for the damage. Goddess of Death coming out. Rice as well, keeping the John Jay alive. And we're seeing a lot of ults coming out from John Jay. SSU, though, with the late answers. Twin Blue's going to find 2. And Luck's going to get the res.
Heroes never die, says Luck, as he gets the team of John Jay back into the fight here. Living G in the back line, doing some punching and kicking. Takes down both of the strategists. And a third. We're seeing the Iron Fist masterclass here from Pax. Able to shut down 4, 5. I'm not even sure how many he got at the end there. But absolutely catapulting John Jay's team across the victory line there. Taking map 3 in a very flashy style.
Yeah, important to mention that was off the back of Luck's, I think, full team res. I think I saw 5 in the kill feed there, which is just absolutely phenomenal. We did see SSU ban that Adam Warlock at the first map. Maybe showing just a quick reminder of why you got to do it again. And now, as we're getting later into these rounds, still not over yet. It's just bringing up more and more heroes to the table of the question of who do you ban, who do you get rid of, you know? But we will see that in just a little bit, as we are going to take just a few minute break before map number 4. Welcome back, everybody, to ECAC week number 6 question mark. For Marvel Rivals, we have John Jay with a score of 2 against SSU, score of 1. Currently coming off of a very heated match now on Midtown off of SSU's map choice. Immediately opening with some pretty standard bans that we've seen so far, but I definitely think they're going to open up a little bit as we get through this.
Yeah, this group has been shut down each and every game by John Jay first. They do not want to play against it. Cheese was actually hovering it here. Don't know if maybe they thought that it would squeak by this time, but absolutely not. And John Jay is actually going to, I believe, enable Pax here with that Iron Fist pick. We saw it right at we saw it the whole map of, I believe it was map 2 and 3. The Iron Fist is definitely formidable. But definitely at the end there on map 3, Pax showing up and showing them why that Iron Fist is very strong. And SSU is going to save their ace in the hole with that magic. I'd assume going right back to Blubfish.
Yeah, interestingly, banning the Luna as well from SSU, shutting down, their own Luna pick, but I'm excited. I'm just going off of some of the hovers we're seeing here. I mean, we see luck on this Namor. John Jay banning that rocket, shutting down Civis's, I think, was the one that would be swapping to that. Really just prioritizing shutting down what John Jay recognized worked for SSU, that rocket being one of them. And SSU, I mean, interestingly, that magic save, I'm excited to see what Blubfish can do on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if John Jay's next ban is targeted towards dealing with that pick. Possibly, I'm not too sure, possibly even a Magneto ban could come out.
Definitely could. With the Iron Man ban, it looks like they're definitely trying to run this magic. And a more ban comes out from John Jay. And as we go into this one, I feel like this is going to be the most action-packed match we have had so far. And that's saying a lot. We've seen a lot already in these 3 maps. But this one, it seems like everyone has some very high prio picks for their team. And it's really going to come down to the gameplay on this one.
Exactly. I've learned my lesson from last time, and I'm not going to comment too much till we see these teams out of spawn. But just going off their general comps, we can still see SSU running the similar comp that we've seen them on all night, with the exception of the possibility of a Daredevil, which I think we've only seen once before this season. And even so, I don't think we've seen too much of him. But I'm excited to see the possibility of SSU letting the devil out here. John Jay, on the other hand, rocking again with this similar comp. They're actually going to be running triple support this time. They were on that triple DPS, though it could be argued luck on that Adam Warlock is filling that void that res
Absolutely.
Luck showed the value of as well in the last map several times.
We had Pax in the last map, I think ending it with the most final hits on 20, followed by 14 final hits on Luck with the Adam Warlock. So definitely not the most supporty support ever, but is a very accurate support, I should note. And as far as going into this next game on defense, SSU attacking again. This is, I believe, the 3rd map in a row now that we've had a convoy where SSU starts it off. John Jay is defending first. They get through that first point and stopped on the second. We'll have to see if it's any different here on Midtown and with the comps that they brought to the table this time.
Yeah, definitely. So far, we haven't seen too many opening picks. We're just trying to see SSU. We can see them slowly trying to creep through these side halls and flank routes, looking for some picks. But John Jay has some great team positioning. Bot Jakey able to pick up Twin Blue is a phenomenal opening pick, really shutting down John Jay's main, SSU's main DPS. SSU Cheese, though, is going to answer, taking out Pax, shutting down that Iron Fist. Interesting to see. It's definitely opening the door for some picks as kills go both way, and we see Bot Jakey with some beautiful picks here, picking up Bloodfish, shutting down SSU's push, and we still have No Man's on the cart, just alone, trying to hold it. But you know what? Even though they fall, it is working. 4 ultimates, looking at 5 for John Jay in the pocket, as well as SSU. I think once these teams regroup, once No Man's able to get back to point, it's going to be a large exchange of ultimates coming down here. Hopefully some interesting Kraken impacts as well.
Certainly is. We see the invisible boundary hover, didn't commit it. Botchiki will pick up one onto Civis. The Meteoram from downtown. Not going to be able to find anything. Cheese will eat it with that shield. Great play there. And as this point is starting to get pushed up a bit now, we still have these ultimates available. Bloodfish kind of working their way along the side here, trying to isolate a support. We're seeing almost that. The contest on point is true. Living Chi, was not out. The Meteor M, however, is going up. Did not find luck there, however. Bloodfish picking one up. Eternal Bond does come down. We're seeing an exchange of support ults. This fight will be a little bit of a stalemate on point right now. Seeing even more committed.
Yeah, we see this Living Chi finding some great value, amazing damage as SSU is left with no support ultimates, finding 3 now, making it 4 packs. Beautiful Living Chi, looking at 5, 6 even with Leia picking up 2 of the final hits as well there. Beautiful Living Chi from packs. John Jay as well showing these the value of this triple support as well. They used both these support ultimates and went either way, but then just as a little bit of insurance, luck was ready there with the res needed be, if need be, which it didn't need to because of that Living Chi. We see now SSU coming back. They do have this Cloak and Dagger ult if they want to be aggressive with it. Leia's going to fall to Bloodfish, and they are going to be aggressive with this Cloak ult as it comes down in response to this Kraken impact from Bot Jakey. Is going to not going to get the reset. Luck uses this res directly on point. I don't know how smart that is. They'll get Leia and Pax back in the fight, and that might be what they needed to get this contest, but a lot of John Jay is missing from this, and they're just looking for this contest. 20 seconds left. I mean, we see No Man's now on the Strange. This could be the contest we needed. It's Kraken Impact's ready to go, and we're looking for a contest from John Jay. Portal does come out.
Yeah, right on the point. John Jay going to be looking to contest this. The Dark Child does come out. There's 2 picks now for Bloodfish. A Meteor M also committed. SSU looking to really shut this out. But No Man's with 2 huge picks is looking to shut SSU out here in overtime. A 3rd pick. Civis with a strange portal of SSU's own. Now back onto the point into Rice's invisible boundary. An Eye of Agamotto as well will stun too. And that is how you shut down the push. An Eternal Bond and a Kraken Impact just to seal the deal. And that's John Jay not even letting SSU take that first point.
Yeah, match is looking close now as SSU has to hold this first point and then win another map if they want the chance of winning tonight. Beautiful plays from John Jay. I do actually think No Man's Eye found 3 there, shutting out, I think it was both supports and a tank. And with them falling that easily, there's no hope. With a stun like that, your team is done. Not to mention Leia and Bot Jakey with their ultimates in the pocket, ready to go. I do think that that's strange ultimate to contest right at the end there is something we see a lot, and definitely some value that they got out of that.
Yeah, and now it's up to John Jay to close this out like they know how. Rocking really whatever comp that they think is going to push this in. We've seen it a couple times before, but we will have to see what the final pick is before they walk out.
Looks like SSU is out of spawn with goats. Last time we saw goats, I believe it was pushed up to the attacker spawn.
Yeah, it is.
And it didn't go too well for the defense.
No,
I would be very happy if this worked out. No Man's is, it looks like John Jay might just be toying with them. No offense, but I do think Penny isn't the pick here.
Penny on the attack.
Especially with this triple tank, it's going to be hard. However, I mean, yeah, SSU really doesn't have that damage, especially with a Strange. Like, not saying Strange doesn't put out damage, but you don't have any DPS heroes. You know, a lot of shield holding from them. Bloodfish is going to be, I feel, the main course of disrupt and CC from SSU. Right now, no picks going either way, though we can see SSU losing control. Blubfish does find Pax, though, and that's a beautiful opening pick. Jakey already with this Kraken impact, though, showing this value, finding Civis, finding Kitsune Kami, is going to get stunned, going to find 2 more just off of the effect of the ultimate, and that's a 4K just off of pressing 2, I think it was 1 Q. And right now, SSU showing why Goats maybe isn't the greatest pick. Maybe just a last-second hold. This Penny is going to be able to set up, and that's going to be harder. I mean, they're going to come out of that Strange Portal taking some damage. We do have 2 support ultimates ready to do stuff. Yeah, they're going to avoid it.
And just like that, they do avoid it. The invisible boundary on the point, the Eternal Bond painted across it as well. Blubfish will seclude and pick Bot Jakey up. That's a nice pick. Now shutting down those Penny mines as well. SSU looking strong on the retake. Luck will get the res off on Bot Jakey, trading his life. Meteorem goes up. Cheese unable to find Leia. We do see a few more picks. Bot Jakey going up with his Kraken impact. Going again, and again, slamming down across the team of SSU. When will he stop? Make it end, Bot Jakey. Please, oh please. And that is exactly how you do it. John Jay taking a quick map 4 to win the series.
Yeah, definitely a very strong team versus a very strong team. SSU I'll just, without sugarcoating it, with the record they had going into an undefeated team, they definitely held on strong and definitely showed some life. We've seen evenly matched teams with less interesting games than that, and that was very exciting to see. SSU did a good job on the defense. I think just right at the end, they may have given up a little bit of hope and just said, all right, we'll have a little bit of fun before we go out. You know what? It worked decently well, but I don't think there's any comp you can pick to protect against Bot Jakey with, I think it was 2 5Ks using those Kraken impacts. Just beautiful to see, showing why you need to ban out that Bucky. But still, regardless, that was a lot of fun, as Rice was saying in chat. GG's to both teams. Any final words from you, Inferno?
Absolutely just that. GG's to both teams. They put on an amazing show for us tonight. This was, without a doubt, I can confidently say, one of the best, if not the best match we've had streamed on the ECAC Marvel Rivals season so far. This was incredible gameplay back and forth. Very close matches between these two teams. And yeah, just that. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you to the ECAC, everyone behind the scenes as well. Make sure you tune in to the rest of the ECAC streams throughout the week, and you can catch us back here next Wednesday for more Marvel Rivals content.
Yeah, exactly. I've been Althea, joined by Inferno and our observer Beldia. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to the teams, and congratulations to John Jay on the win. Have a good night.